Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 3X Value Growth Podcast. My name is Carrie Sauls. I'm a value growth advisor, as well as the best-selling author of Multiply Your Business Value in 3 Steps. I always start every show with a little bit of trivia about New Hampshire, my home state. You may not know that America has its own Stonehenge. America's Stonehenge is 4,000 years old. It's a megalithic stone-constructed site located in Salem, New Hampshire, and it's open to the public. So that's my trivia about New Hampshire for today. Today, I am joined by Meridith Elliott Powell. Welcome, Meredith.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
I am too. Where are you calling in from?
I am actually today in Fairfax, Virginia. I am in a Marriott speaking at a conference.
Excellent. Well, all right, Meredith. Thank you again for joining me. And for those of you who don't know anything about Meredith, here's a little bit of a brief introduction about why you might want to listen to her. Voted one of the top 15 business growth experts to watch, a top sales expert on LinkedIn, and one of the top 41 motivational speakers, Meridith Elliott Powell is an award-winning author, keynote speaker, who helps clients learn the strategies they need to succeed, no matter what the marketplace does. I'm really excited to have you here today, Meredith. And our topic for our 7-question interview is turning uncertainty to competitive advantage.
Yes.
And we're going to do that in just 7 minutes, right?
That's exactly right.
Let's go for it. Meredith, our 7 minutes starts now. The first question is, who's your ideal client?
My ideal client are CEOs or C-suite professionals that are successful, but looking to take it to another level, really looking to take it up a notch.
Perfect. So for these CEOs and executives, what problem are you trying to solve when you're looking at middle market executives in these larger companies?
Their biggest problem that I'm trying to solve is to turn uncertainty from an obstacle to an opportunity. When I work in organizations, so many that I go to right now, and I'm asking how things are going, everybody's saying things are going great, business couldn't be better, but this uncertainty, as if uncertainty is always going to be the big obstacle to growth. And my job is to go in there and shift your paradigm about uncertainty and help you see it as opportunity.
Perfect. So with that in mind, my third question, Meredith, is what are the typical symptoms that you see owners experiencing or talking about that they recognize the uncertainty, but as you said, they don't know what to do about it. They don't know how to turn it around.
Yeah, the typical symptoms that I see are, number one, a lot of them are dealing with employees or team members really struggling to want to change and be excited about change. The other is just, how do you figure out what path or what direction to take when you're not really sure what's going to happen? And then I would say the third is the fact that it's a really different it's a different style of leadership. Many of the leaders that I work came up with a time when they were really in control about the changes that were going to happen in the direction that they were going to make. And we are now living in a time when the majority of what could impact the success of your organization lies outside of your control.
Those are really powerful trigger points, aren't they?
Yeah, they're it's like I said, it's doing business in a whole different type of way.
It really is. So building on that, what are the most common mistakes that you see that they are making when they're trying to solve that on their own?
Yeah, there's, so I'll have to limit it to a couple. Number one is that they are still trying to compete on product or service. And so there's no product or service that you make in today's marketplace that your competitor can't make, wouldn't make, or doesn't make. So that's not what's differentiating you in the marketplace. It's the experience and your reputation. So the first mistake is still trying to compete on a product or a service and not really realizing how important the customer experience is. The other mistake I see them making is still outsourcing employee engagement and culture to human resources. I mean, now the most important thing you have is the team you surround yourself with, and the most successful companies I see, that's become the job of the CEO. And the last, and probably one of the most important, is the fact that the biggest mistake, even though we know change is coming, they still are sitting and waiting for change to happen rather than anticipating, creating scenarios and really planning for change before it comes.
Those are powerful mistakes that they should be looking out for. Exactly. So my fifth question for you is, what is one valuable free action that you can suggest to our audience members that they can implement that will actually help them with this problem?
You know, I would say that my favorite for that is a tool, and it's interesting. I'm going to speak about it this afternoon when I speak at this conference. But you need to at least once a quarter get your team together, whether that means your leadership team, or if you're somebody who's listening and you run a small business, just get your team together and sit around and brainstorm. What are the changes you see happening in the economy? What are the changes you see happening with customers? What are changes you see happening with competition? And what are the changes you see happening in technology? Not as they relate to your business, but just getting yourself outside of your business and thinking about the things that are happening. Because when you do that, you free yourself up to start to see the changes that are coming. You start to see the things and you can go ahead and change now. I was just doing this exercise with a company last week, and when we got to competition, two of their biggest competitors are getting ready to go through mergers. And that's real opportunity for my client, to go ahead and start to really get out there in the marketplace as the steady one. So you need to, my biggest piece of advice and an action you need to take is stop being so much in your business and get outside of it and start to think about the changes that are happening.
That's great advice, to look to a larger scope, to look 360 rather than staying firefighting in your business.
Right.
Powerful. That's really powerful. So the sixth question, what's one valuable free resource that you could direct people to that will further help them solve that problem?
There is a tool that I have on my website called Future External Environmental Scan, a FEES for short, and it is a tool that runs you through exactly that. It's a tool for brainstorming on your society, on customers, on competition, and just that's a tool that people can use. It's a great little exercise to use in their companies.
What's the link?
The link is just go to valuespeaker.com, and it's right there on my homepage.
Perfect. And my last question for you, Meredith, is what would be one question that I should have asked you that would give our listeners great value and provide the answer? I
would say that the question is, what is your biggest belief about people who are successful today? What is the one thing that you see consistent across organizations, leaders, business owners? And my answer to that would be, I just passionately believe if you build your network, you will change your life. We may live in a high-tech type of a world, but at the end of the day, the thing that really differentiates people who succeed from people who don't is their ability to build, connect, and expand on relationships. And so that is my biggest piece of advice. Is everywhere you go, connect to people, reach out every day, and just stay in touch with people. There is no problem you have that somebody can't move you one step closer to solving it.
Wow. What a great way to end this interview. Thank you so much, Meredith. Meridith Elliott Powell, thank you for joining me on the 3X Value Growth podcast today. I hope to see you again.
Thank you. It's been a great interview.
Thanks for checking out the 3X Value Growth podcast. If you like what we're doing here, head over to iTunes and subscribe, leave us a review, or rate us. It's very much appreciated. And if you'd like to learn more about the 3X Value Growth model, go to www.3xvaluegrowth.com/model for the PDF.